to BuzzBooster.tv.
I'm Shahar.
And I'm Nash.
And on today's show, you're going to see a cool tool.
Yes, a cool tool.
And we are going to talk about how you can create a business choreography.
Very important lesson.
Yes. Enjoy. So what's new?
Well, a lot of things are new. We had our event. We went to Vegas and California.
Yeah.
And today, we just came back from the SCORE convention.
Yeah, we spoke today there, here in Park City, and we decided to stop and do the show.
Yep.
Yeah, but during the event, what happened is, you know, the preparation and the event itself, it takes a lot of work.
A lot of work.
And it was very successful. We'll talk about it in another show. But the fact is, we needed a break after that.
Yeah, let's rest a little.
Yeah. So we went to LA for a week or so.
Yep.
And then we went to Vegas. It's a place it's always fun to go.
That was fun. I really enjoyed it.
We went to see the Bodies Expo.
Yep. Oh yeah, that was great.
That was very cool.
That was amazing.
You just told me how much I don't know about anatomy at all.
It's unbelievable.
It's unbelievable. And then we saw the shark reef. That was cool.
Yep.
And we went to a restaurant there.
Oh yeah, very
delicious. Is the topic of our show today.
Yes, we went to a Brazilian churrascaria, which is like a Brazilian barbecue type of restaurant.
Exactly. And we are going to talk today about business choreography, and they are a good example.
Yep.
Yeah, this restaurant is called Fogo de Chão. They actually have in Vegas, Texas, and a few other places in the U.S. as well as in Brazil. They are more expensive than other Brazilian barbecue places. Actually, they are like 2/3 more expensive than the average one. But the day we went there, it was really packed.
It was packed,
which is interesting because it's easy to hear from business owners. Oh, during summer people don't eat meat, so we have less people here. Or the recession, people are keeping their money in the pockets, and whatever is the excuse. Because actually, the place was packed that night.
It was packed, and we were there late. I mean, it was it's like 9 o'clock.
Even dinner time. Yeah.
It was after dinner time, and it was super packed.
Yeah, and then we were discussing the reason why, and one of the main reasons is that the business choreography there is so to the point.
Perfect.
That really creates the consumer experience you hear so much about.
Yes.
So let's discuss a few things.
Yep.
First of all, when we got there, we were really well received. We were seated, and right when we sat, the person greeting us told us, "Hey, have you ever been to a Brazilian barbecue?
Yeah.
Here's how it works." And then he went explaining.
And explained.
And then he talked about the tongs, because the meat comes in slices and you pick up with a tongue. And they said, okay, and the tongue is by your side, and you're going to pick up the meat every time it comes, as many times as you want, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
It's going to be a lot of fun. That's the main thing that we wanted to point out. It doesn't matter even if other people did it or not. They explained the process, and they let you know that instead of you thinking, hey, I'm going to have work to get my food, no, it's going to be fun.
It's going to be entertaining.
It's a component of entertainment.
Yes, not only that, he also said, and here's how it works. The first course, you go to the buffet and you get as much salad as you want. When you're ready, turn on the little card that you have that is red if you don't want anything, and green if you want meat.
Red means stops, green means go.
And then you're going to have the second course.
Yep, help yourself at the buffet. When you're ready for the second course, when you're ready for the meat, flip it over.
Yes. Now, let's stop here and analyze this. With this process that took about a minute or so, he educated the audience on how to consume their products.
Yes, rituals.
Okay. The rituals, right? The sequence that you should be using, which tools you should be using.
That's correct.
Right? To understand that you can eat as much as you want, but there is a first moment and a second moment with the meat. Plus, they had a tool of entertainment.
The component of entertainment.
That is the red or the green thing.
And that was what? 2 or 3 minutes.
Yes.
Since we arrived, since we sat at the table.
Yeah, but business owner, pay attention to this. This guy will do exactly the same thing every single time with every single customer.
No exceptions.
So there is no such a thing that, oh, I don't feel like it, so I'm not going to say, or she was not well dressed, so I'm not going to say. It's up to you to make your employees understand that the ritual needs to exist, and it's not up to their will.
And it needs to be consistent, and it's not up to them whether they like it or not. It has to be done.
So what happened next? We went to the buffet. We got the salad.
No.
I thought it was.
Well, yes. We went to the buffet. We got the salad. We ate.
Yes.
And then
I see it. We got to the same point.
And then
I flipped the red thing to green.
No, yes. She flipped the card over.
What happened the moment I did that? Because
The
it was the moment I did that.
It was like this. The moment she let go of the card, whoa,
somebody changed my plates.
immediately her
For the
plates
meat
were changed, replaced for the meat.
Well, we were discussing that for about a day or so, right?
Because it was very impressive. She got the card, she flipped it over, and let go. Before the card hit the table, the plates were replaced.
The plates were replaced, and then they put all the bananas
and then they
other
brought the
things there.
bananas and the side dishes that they bring.
Again, it's part of the ritual. It
Part of
happens
the
every
ritual.
single time. So
Yes.
they are paying attention the moment you finish eating your salad.
Yes.
The moment you say, yes, I want meat, everything comes to the table, the bananas, polenta, and everything else.
And might I point out that we couldn't see the person.
No.
Like, he appeared out of nowhere.
That was really what was awesome, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Because we didn't know there was somebody really looking
No.
to see when we finished the
We were
salad.
eating, and the thing was in between Shahar and I. It's not like it was visible in the middle of the table.
Nope.
So we finished eating, and Shahar's like, okay, I'm ready for the meat. She got it, and boom,
Yeah.
that's when it happened.
The whole process was like that. Every single touch with us, the consumer, very well structured.
Very well orchestrated.
Another thing I want to say. So
What?
the manager comes, right?
Yep.
And he starts a conversation.
Yes.
Not the small talk that you hear in every single restaurant. Like,
Not
are you
the-
still doing your cake?
Well, not the
Are you still
lame,
working on that?
No, well, the manager, not the lame old.
Yeah.
Everything okay here, and then off
And
they
you
go.
And even if you say there's something wrong, which happens,
Yeah.
they just don't care about
Wait,
it.
let's pause the previous conversation.
Yeah.
We were at a restaurant this week.
No. Let's talk about that after.
Okay.
Let's finish this. What happened when the manager came? So he started really talking to us, trying to figure if we were from town, how often we came to Vegas. He gave us his business card.
He gave us his business card.
So he was trying
Not that
a
we're ever
connection.
going to use it, but the
Or
fact that
maybe,
he
yeah.
did it.
But we could call next time for a reservation, for example.
Yeah.
So he was really engaging in the conversation, very
Yes.
different than what you see in other restaurants. So, the food was delicious, of course. The meat was awesome. But quality, it is expected. And especially if you're paying a premium price, of course you want quality.
Yeah.
So that's not what got the attention.
No.
Right? The attention was there because of all the things, to the point that we were talking afterwards about that, and we are talking to you
To
right
the
now
point
about
that we're creating this video about it.
Yeah.
There was, at one point, they had the little side dishes, and there was the fried banana.
Yeah.
And I ate, or Shahar ate, and we ate,
Yeah.
and there was just a very tiny piece left. And someone is walking by, someone who works there, and they noticed it. And the moment they noticed it, they were walking behind us, and they just called for the person there, and they're like, hey, or whatever their name was. They were very respectful, but, hey you, more banana. And it was like 30 seconds the banana was
Yes.
filled. It was
Yeah,
there.
everything was replaced really fast. All those little things, that really means every single touch with the consumer,
Yeah.
they were rehearsed and well executed.
Yeah.
And I bet that it didn't happen just that time. It happens over and over and over. That's why they are packed when most restaurants that serve exactly the same kind of food
All right.
are not. Now the
And-
question to you,
And really quickly, before
Okay.
she asks you the question, there are a lot of these restaurants. It's summer, it's hot, people don't want to eat meat because it's heavy. But the fact is that we were in Vegas. I have a picture that shows that day it was 115 degrees Fahrenheit. It was really hot.
Yeah.
And that restaurant was packed. And it's food, good food, it's great. That it has to be good tasty food, but that's not what determines whether or not people will come to your restaurant or whether or not they'll come back.
Yeah.
The fact that everything was so well orchestrated played a huge influence on whether or not we'll be back at that restaurant.
yeah, to the point that we are sharing with you.
Yeah.
So the question is, in your business, how you can incorporate some rituals
Yeah.
to the process itself. And it doesn't matter if you're in the restaurant business or in the coaching business or you're a dentist. It applies to you too. You need to figure out in every single point of touch with your consumer how you could incorporate some ritual that would wow them.
Yeah.
Now, for you to have an idea, let's give on the same industry another example. So
Okay.
we had the very bad idea the other day of going for lunch on an Applebee's.
Applebee's.
And we got there. It was lunchtime, right? Like 12
Lunchtime.
o'clock.
It was like noon.
They had what? About 4 tables in the whole place.
Maybe.
Well, you might be saying, yeah, it's summer. People don't spend money on restaurants and whatever.
Nah.
We waited. There were only 4 tables.
Wait.
No people waiting.
To be greeted, okay?
Yeah.
We're not saying we waited to be greeted. So
Yeah.
we walked through the door.
Easily about 10 minutes.
And we're standing there looking like fools. Like, what do we do now? For like
Yeah.
10 minutes.
Hello, I'm here.
10
Hello.
minutes.
Okay, we got set.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, 10 minutes, right? There was this guy cleaning a table.
Oh, a manager actually.
A manager cleaning a
the
table.
tables.
And to him, cleaning
The table was way
table
more important than us.
was more important than greeting the guests
Yeah.
that had just walked through their doors,
Yeah.
willing to spend money with them.
We are not picky people.
We're not.
But we were kind of mad.
Kind of.
So finally somebody came, sat us down. We were waiting for the waiter
to say hi.
to say hi.
After we sat.
And ask, what would you like to drink? For about 15 minutes.
15.
Only 4 tables at the
No
restaurant.
exaggeration. I
No.
know I tend to exaggerate at times, but I'm not exaggerating right now.
Well, she came, didn't apologize.
No.
Sorry for the wait, guys.
No, not even that.
Asked. Well, we asked for the food, which was okay, right? Here comes the manager. Because get this. Applebee's has something on your table that if the manager doesn't greet you, you get
A free-
$10 off next time.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
If he doesn't come to say hi and ask how your food is,
Yeah.
you get $10.
Just in that restaurant, we got that like 3 times.
We have to say we
But-
get it almost every time.
But this time he came. So he comes to you. He doesn't look at you.
No.
So, are you still doing okay?
Everything okay over here?
Which
It's kind
for
of
me, I always feel like asking, it shouldn't be okay? Is there something in the food? Is it poison? Because I don't get that question.
But
Well,
okay.
we did complain about all the wait.
Well, we said
And he said, okay, all right. And
and
he
left. So here's the thing.
Yeah. Stupid promotion, first
We
of all.
said, yeah, stupid promotion. We said, sure, the food is okay, but we had to wait an exorbitant amount of time to get here. And he's like, okay, and he walks off.
Yeah. So I told her, please, that's not an option for us to have lunch anymore. Right? It just sucks.
What's the
food
point?
is not that good either. Right? But the problem is that the business is left on the hands of the employees and they are doing a terrible job on it. Plus, they don't care.
That's a very good point because far too often businesses are left at the hands of employees to make decisions and to take things and to make things happen.
Yeah.
And guess what? They don't care. I mean, they care about themselves, their paycheck. They care about what they're going to do after work. They care what they're going to do about before work.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily, granted, I'm generalizing, but it's up to the business owner to make the decisions and to make sure that things happen.
Any structure to get, I mean, glasses and dishes on the table cannot be more important than a consumer
Who's
waiting
gonna
to
give them
spend money
money?
with you.
Yeah.
That's absurd.
And the other thing about the manager coming and asking a question, well, here's the thing. He interrupted my meal, okay? Because it's not like he cared or he wanted to be there. His face, he wasn't exactly smiling either.
That's a good point. It's an interruption when it's done like that.
He interrupted my meal.
Yeah.
Number one. So I was already frustrated because I had to wait at the door to someone to say hello. I was then frustrated even more because I had to wait at the table for a server to come and ask me if I want to drink something.
And it's lunchtime, so you would assume we have to go back and work later.
That's right.
So we don't have the whole time to spend there.
Then I'm interrupted, so that's a little bit of frustration there. And then I complain, so I let them know I'm giving them constructive criticism. I'm not being a mean, rude type of person. I'm just giving them constructive criticism, and they simply don't care. So now I feel like I'm not valued there.
Yes. So, you know, any type of disconnection that you cause in the brain of the consumer, you're really actually losing that consumer.
Yeah.
You see, in one experience, we had 3 or 4. So guess what happened? You lose the customer. So again, stop blaming recession.
Yeah.
Stop blaming seasons, because it's up to you to make your business work.
It's up
and
to
you
you.
have to be, as a business owner, forceful enough. And I'm saying this because we have experience with
Yeah.
clients that say, oh, I tell to my employees and they don't do it. Come on. Fire
not up
somebody
to
if you
them.
have to, but things need to be enforced because it's your business, it's your money-making device.
It's that same old thing. If it's to be, it's up to me.
Yeah.
It's exactly it. So you have to take hold of your business and of those actions and make sure that they get implemented. The fact that the recession or the employee this or whatever, those are just excuses. Those are barriers you're putting in front of you and your success.
Yes. And what's the use for you to be using a lot of social media to bring people into the door if
Once they
come, they will.
You lose them.
Yeah, they will not come back.
Yeah.
So again,
that's a good point because that's a good point because far too often we're worried about bringing people in, but then we focus very, very, very little on how we're going to treat them once they are in.
Yes.
Being that is the most important because once they're in, they're ready to spend money with you, and once they're ready to spend money with you, and once they've done it, they might be ready to spend even more. And so, how you treat that customer once they go through the door is even more important than how you get the customers.
yes. So business choreography is exactly about this. Not only you creating things that choreographies in your business that you can wow the consumer, but also fixing the gaps in every single touch. And by touch, I mean coming through the door and having somebody to greet is one. When they ask something, somebody being promptly there is another. And there it goes over the phone.
And it doesn't have just to be in person. I mean, we're using the restaurant as an example, but seriously, if they're on their website or they're on your phone,
the same thing.
Whatever it is, every time your customer connects with your business, those gaps have to be filled.
Yeah, so here's the homework for you. Put down on a piece of paper the touches that you have with your prospects and clients and see where you can improve and where you can wow them.
Yeah.
And then we'll talk next time.
Talk next time.
Hi, we are in Whitmore, Utah, and this is a mining cart with rock asphalt.
Yes. You know, it has actually a very interesting story because way back when in the 1800s, they started building, they had this mining place and they were digging for this type of the rock asphalt. And, you know, it just so happened that new technology came along, a new type of asphalt came along.
Asphalt.
Yep, and they ended up having to close everything down.
Then they tried again, and to kind of try to have people using rock asphalt instead of paving asphalt, they decided to sell for $8 a ton, while really for them it used to cost $16.
So they sold at $8 a ton to get people to use this when their costs were $16.
Yeah, now think about this. They were working below cost to sell in order to try to motivate people to use it. And guess what happened?
They went bankrupt.
Yes.
And then everything closed down, including the whole city. And so here's the thing, Shahar. That's what people think. They think, well, you know, it's not selling. Maybe I should just lower my prices.
Yeah.
Well, that's the shortest pathway to go bankrupt.
Yeah, and as a business, we need to understand that there are times that we need to reinvent ourselves. And guess what? With the recession, many professions saw themselves exactly in this same point, where it's time to quit, it's time to start something new, or it's time just to reinvent yourself or reinvent your business in order to stay in business. You need to know, you know, actually Seth Godin has the book, The Dip.
Yeah, knowing when to stick and when to quit.
Exactly. So what happened to rock asphalt is that they failed to see it was time to quit.
Yeah.
People didn't want this type of asphalt, period. So they were not going to sell it, and it would have avoided them to be bankrupt if they did so.
Because it actually goes to say here that they spent, I believe, like over $500,000 in equipment. Well, think about this. In the 1800s, $500,000 was a lot of money. I mean, it still is a lot of money. It was a lot of money way back then.
Yeah, so you have to understand in your business the same thing. You need to analyze, is it time to reinvent myself or my business? Because guess what? This is normal in business. And sometimes it's time just to stop and quit. It's the best approach instead of having to eat up a lot of loss.
That's exactly it. And also keep in mind, like we said in the beginning, cash is a very poor motivator. So just because you're lowering your prices does not mean that you're going to get traction and that people will buy.
Yeah, and since we're on this topic, one other thing related to reinvention is when you're creating products, it's always a better approach to ask people if they want that product even before you manufacture or you put that service in the market. Okay? Because a lot of people, they just think, oh, this is going to be great, this is a great product. They go through the whole process of creating that product when really nobody wants that. So it's not the same thing that happened here, but it's another thing that you need to be careful. Because you need to ask the market if they want the product or the service before you put out there.
That's exactly it. And unfortunately, Shahar, it happens far too often where people don't really do the research beforehand. They don't ask if their market wants what they have to offer. They just spend hours and years sometimes working on this thing. They put it out there after spending and investing a lot of money, and no one buys it.
Exactly. That's exactly right. So pay attention when to quit, when to reinvent yourself, and don't put a product or service in the market before asking that market. Okay, let's get out of here. It's really cold.
It is very cold.
Okay, see ya.
All right, the tool for today is actually quite simple. It's a hosting company. So if you have a website out there, or you're thinking about getting a website, well, you'll need hosting. Basically, you can think of hosting like this. Let me tell you the whole story. So think of a website as a house, okay? It's your house. You build it just like you want it. But that house needs to be placed on a piece of land, right? Well, the real estate, hosting is like the virtual piece of land. It's like the virtual real estate. So you need it. It can be oftentimes when you buy a website from someone, they give it to you, it comes together with the hosting, or you get it from it comes together. What I recommend is this: make sure that you have control over your website, whether it's hosting or whether it's your website. If you don't have control over your website online, you really don't have control. So make sure you do. So a lot of times I recommend having a host of your own. Don't host it with your neighbor's cousin, because that's not necessarily the best thing to do. Host it with people who just do that and who are very good at that. And do it yourself under your name so that you have full control. So one of the hosting companies that I recommend is called DreamHost. Dream, like, Dream Host. H-O-S-T. So dreamhost.com, check them out. The really nice thing about them is that you can have multiple websites on the same account without having to pay any extra. You pay about what? Like $10 a month for hosting, and basically you can have dozens of websites under that same account and not pay any more for that. So if you have, let's say you have your main website, but then you have a sales letter, a sales page that requires its own domain name, its own other website, and then you have a website for a side project, whatever it is, it can all go under that same account and you don't pay any more for it. So check DreamHost out. In fact, if you use the promo code BuzzPower when you're checking out, you use the code BuzzPower, B-U-Z-Z, Power, P-O-W-E-R, they'll give you a few bucks off. So check it out. I think they have a trial even that you can try the system for $3 a month or something like that. So give it a try. BuzzPower.com. Take control of your website online. Otherwise, you don't have control. And that's it.
Yeah. Disclaimer: we are affiliates for DreamHost.
That's right. That was so cool.
Yeah, we rented a lot.
We did.
Yeah.
But
good points.
It's very good points. Business choreography, it's crucial.
Yes, it is.
Crucial.
So I hope you enjoyed the show.
Yep.
You enjoyed the view here in Park City, Utah at the Olympic Park. And, business choreography and positioning is very, very important. It's even more important than what kind of tools you use online to market your business.
That's right.
So I want to invite you to join us in our coaching club at buzzinnercircle.com.
BuzzInnerCircle.com.
See you next time.
See you next time.